Hello everybody. Welcome to day 29. So today has been a long day, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. For strength today, I played volleyball. Now, recently, I have been improving a lot as a setter, right? We kind of switched coaches because of some reasons. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because I don't really know, but we switched coaches and I gone to a few more practices than I did usually, and then it really changed my perspective because the old coach, um, I'm not questioning his methods or anything, but he was very focused on our starting team, right? He was very focused on our starting team, and he didn't try and improve us individually. He tried to try to improve us as a team, which is a like understandable mindset because originally most of our players were really strong. They just didn't work well together, which is like that certainly is a method, right? However, this coach focuses more on like kind of like working in combinations, right? Instead of the whole team working together, it would be like pairs, you two, you two, you two, mainly involving the setter, right? So for me, since I didn't have the best set, it has been a huge improvement for me because with the other team, I would just perform badly and then just that's it. I'll just perform badly. But with this coach, it's like, okay, then you have to do setting like this for this one, set like this for this one, set like this for this one. So, I have been improving a lot because like my base ability to set has been improving. Um, that's about it for strength today. For intelligence, I took a AP CSA mock. We took that in school, and for MCQ it was alright. I wouldn't say I did great on it, but I wouldn't say I did badly on it, right? I answered most of the questions. I'm just not 100% confident in most of my answers, right? The problem came when the FRQ hit, right? First question, crushed it. All three ABC, I knew what to do. I wrote it down. I'm pretty sure I got it correct, right? Maybe it wasn't the most efficient way to do it, but it certainly was a way to do it. The problem came at question 3. Question 3 was an issue because I just straight up didn't know what it was asking me to do. It said like refill this copy machine with printed rolls, and then apparently it's something related to arrays and array list, but I don't get what it's asking, right? And that's the biggest issue because question 3 and question 4, the language they use in it is very confusing, and then you kind of have to dissect what it's asking. And then during the state of mind in my exam, I'm just like, I don't really want to do CS right now. I don't want to do CS. I mean, I have to because this is my exam. So I'm in a mindset where I don't really want to do CS, and then I have to decode the question, and it's just like, oh, this is so rough. Like, what is? And then like, eventually, it's not I gave up. I answered it to my best possible way, but like, I like decoding the question just wasn't a possibility for me, right? Um, I I don't know what the issue is. I just had a hard time decoding the question. So my method to get points is instead of trying to decode and understand the question, is since FRQ is based off of like a checklist. Did you write this? Did you write this? Did you include this? What I did was I saw the question, see what I have to do, and just added it. Oh, this question looks like it needs a for loop. I'll just write a for loop. Does this need an if statement? Okay, I'll add an if statement. Is it doing the right thing? I don't know, but I added an if statement. So if there was like a really broad point, right, saying you need to include an if statement, I'll get it, right? There's also more precise things I can do, which for one of them is like a is null is mentioned in the question. So I'm like, okay, or a null is mentioned in the question. So in my response, I would write something null, right? Maybe the the question, the checklist will be very specific, like you have to use if correctly, and then I'll be like, okay, that then I won't get the point. But if there's some which are very vague, right? Use a for loop. You use a for each loop. You include null in your response, right? I'll get those points even though I didn't use it correctly because I filled out the checklist. I did what I'm supposed to. So that's kind of what I did for the last few questions because I couldn't really decode what it's asking, right? I also did my religious studies work today. Now it's about what we learned from this father that came to our school or had an online meeting with us, but I wasn't there that day. I was at a track meet. So instead of writing about that, I just wrote about my track meet because that's what he told us. Like, if you weren't there to listen to the father, then just write about the track meet. So I wrote about the track meet, and that there's not much to it. I just kind of wrote about it. For discipline, I went to bed around 2 a.m. yesterday, technically 1 a.m., but I just couldn't fall asleep, so 2 a.m. and got 5 hours of sleep, so that was kind of rough. I just can't really break past the barrier of sleeping from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. and I don't really understand why, because I go to bed at 1 a.m., but then I just like toss and I turn and then I can't fall asleep. That's about it for discipline. Something fun that happened today is that since I missed one of our student council photos, I'm running for assistant secretary and then I'm in a group, so we have to take group pictures. But I wasn't there that day, so I actually had to take a picture of myself and try and Photoshop myself in. Now, am I good at Photoshop? No, I am horrible. I don't have any like proper training with Photoshop. I kind of just mess around and it looks like half decent. If you just glance at it, you can't tell that something's wrong. But if you look closer, you'll be like, yeah, that guy doesn't have legs. He just covered him up with another guy's shoulders, but he definitely doesn't have legs. You can see like a chopped up bit right there. So like, not the best Photoshop person, right? But it's one of those things where like, I think it's really interesting to learn. I remember making an earlier video talking about learning subjects, and this is one of the things, right? Like, I kind of just randomly was like, hey, I should learn a little bit about like Photoshop. It'll come in handy later. So I did, right? I just searched up a YouTube tutorial, just watched it a bit. I'm like, okay, I kind of understand this, I kind of understand that. Then when I actually had to use it, or if I was using it for fun, I would search up like, oh, YouTube tutorials on how to do that. And then like, it just like builds and builds and builds. Now, I didn't have any proper training with Photoshop, and that's the biggest issue, right? Like, I'm not saying like you need proper training to learn these items. It's just that like watching 1 or 2 videos about Photoshop is not really gonna help me improve. So I think instead of like broadening my skills, I should like make the quality of the skills I learned a little higher, right? Because right now they're at the amateur level, and I think I should at least get them, like, if this was a video game, right? And this is what this whole video series is about, like training my stats like in a video game. If this was a video game, all my skills would be level 1 and level 2. Maybe juggling will be at like a level 4, level 5, but all my stats currently are a level 1 and a level 2. And I think maybe instead of broadening my skill tree out, I should improve on some of the subjects I know, right? Like, I'm okay at Photoshop, but there's a lot of room to improve. I'm just learning how to edit, and there's 100% a bunch of things I can learn, like making special effects, stuff like that, right? So that's what my mindset currently is at. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 30. Bye bye.